Hey, what's going on, fam? It's your boy AP the Fragrance King, man. And I'm coming at y'all today because I got an exciting video, one that I really been wanting to do. I got two fragrances that I just got in that I want to review today, right? And I've had an opportunity to wear these fragrances over the course of the last week, so I can give you my honest take on it, okay? And today we're gonna be talking about none other than two fragrances by French Avenue and Aromatix, and we're talking about Carnal Desire. Okay, Carnal Desire comes in a red box just like this. It opens up with the fragrance that sits inside of the box. Okay, and then of course, this is what the full presentation looks like. Real nice bottle, real nice bottle. And the other one is gonna be Royal Taboo by French Avenue and Aromatics, which is a collaboration that they did, Middle Eastern style, right? And these two fragrances right here have been talked about in the fragrance community for quite some time, and rightfully so, in their own right. So we're gonna break it down. I'm gonna let you know my honest thoughts on it, and give you my take and let you know whether or not you should get it. Which I can't tell you if you should get it. You should get it if you want to get it, but I'm gonna give you some good, honest feedback about these fragrances today. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. So the first fragrance that we're gonna be talking about on this list is Carnal Desire. All right, we're gonna be talking about Carnal Desire. As you can see, it comes in a nice red bottle. The bottle is high quality bottle. It's a hard bottle. It's rigid. Okay, it has like the gold and the amber tones on it. Nice top, nice feel to the top. Has French Avenue on the top, and yeah, I like the presentation. I like the presentation of the boxes. I like the presentation of the bottle that the fragrance comes in. Now I know a lot of y'all probably out there wondering that haven't smelled it. What does it smell like? What does it put you in the mind of? Well, I can tell you that um, it kind of puts me in the mind of a fragrance by Louis Vuitton called Ombre Nomad. And Ombre Nomad is a very popular fragrance by Louis Vuitton. Very popular fragrance by Louis Vuitton that a lot of people consider a masterpiece. Um, Ombre Nomad comes off to me real leathery and harsh. Um, in the opening, very strong fragrance. Carnal Desire does much of the same. Carnal Desire comes off kind of pungent, punchy in the face, very strong in the opening. You get it to me, to my nose when you first put it on, you get a heavy dose of leather and oud, even though when you look at the note breakdown and the top notes, that's not what it suggests, right? So in this particular fragrance, you're gonna get some raspberry, bergamot, cinnamon. Middle notes, you're gonna get cotton candy, orris, rose. Base notes, you're gonna get leather, oud, and cedar, patchouli, and vanilla. Now I'm gonna be honest, I don't really pick up a lot of the vanilla in this particular fragrance. I'm gonna put it on the testing strip so that way when I talk to y'all, I can smell it as well, right? I don't get a whole lot of vanilla in this particular fragrance. There might be hints of it slightly on the far dry down, but in the opening, you get a heavy dose of what I like to call, you get the raspberry, you get some leather, and ooh, I don't really pick up on the cinnamon. I do pick up on the bergamot. So bergamot and raspberry. And I can also smell leather and oud throughout. As you can see, just by me spraying this fragrance in there, it kind of took my breath away. So let's let that dry down a little bit and go through what it's gonna go through. But it's a very strong fragrance. Projection and performance on this. So I had an opportunity to wear this for a full day. I'm in the military, so me wearing this fragrance and putting it on, walking around work, um, was a bit of a challenge. But me, because I've been doing this for a while, I've been doing this for about 15 to 16 years. I understood based on what I smelled when I first sprayed the fragrance when I first got it. I'm like, I can't overdo it with this fragrance. So I got to keep it between 3, 4. And if you're really feeling froggy, you can do 5 sprays, but 3 to 4 sprays of this gonna last you all day. I can tell you that as soon as I put it on, it jumped off the skin, immediately reminded me of Ombre Nomad. Ombre Nomad, right off the bat. You get a heavy dose of what I like to call raspberry, oud, and leather combination. And I think that remains throughout the duration of the life of the fragrance. Projection for this, very, very strong. 3, 4 feet, 4.5 feet, really. Um, Nice sillage bubble. Everything that you can want in a fragrance. So if you are a ombre nomad lover, then you'll love Carnal Desire by Aromatix and French Avenue. You'll absolutely love this fragrance. Um, why go out and spend $365 on a fragrance when you can get a fragrance for a fraction of the price? This particular fragrance, I found it on Joma Shop for, I believe, 30 bucks. 30 bucks is what I got this fragrance for. And you can't go wrong. If you ask me, for the people out there that like oud fragrances, Haltanes of the world, uh, like leather fragrances, Tuscan leather by Tom Ford, then you can blind buy this, and I guarantee you'll be satisfied. Now, it does talk about that there's a note of cotton candy in here. I can't necessarily pick up the cotton candy. Maybe other people that have smelled this fragrance can. I can't pick up notes of the cotton candy. And I can barely pick up hints of raspberry. All the other notes and vanilla on the far, far dry down. Maybe about an hour and some change into the dry down, you might be able to pick up on hints of vanilla. Now, what I will give this fragrance credit for is it gets better as it dries down. Like, it absolutely gets better as it dries down. And it becomes more wearable. When you first put it on, you got to give it an opportunity to kind of like let it do its thing, because right off the bat, it's not going to be for everybody. Unless you're that type of person that, like I said, like that type of scent profile. So I think it's a win. It's a blind ball fragrance. I think it's a win. Longevity on this fragrance, easily 14 hours. Pumping for like 8, 9 hours, 10 hours. It starts to settle down a little bit, but it stays in that same mid-range for the next 3 hours. So 14, 15 hours on the skin, easy. And if you put it on the clothes, it'll last you all day. Put it this way. I sprayed just a little bit in the air and it got on my clothes when I first tested it, man. And I could smell it like 2, 3 days later. I'm like, I asked my wife, did you just spray? Like, nah. My son don't like it. But he's more of a gourmand type of person. So if you into gourmand, you're not gonna like this. Um, if this is like your signature style, you like leather, heavy leather based fragrances and oud based fragrances, then this is you all day long. Go out and blind buy it. And guess what? It's only $30, right? So instead of going out and purchasing Ombre Nomad, if you got the money, go get Ombre Nomad. But if you're looking for a cheap alternative to Ombre Nomad, and if you already got Ombre Nomad and you don't want to continue to waste your sprays because it's expensive, even though you can go and refill it for $100 off, then you need to go and check this out by French Avenue and Aromatix. Absolute dub on the blind buy. So it's a win. Is this something that I'll be rocking on a day-to-day basis? Nah, I think this is more of a special occasion type scent. Date night, put about 2 to 3 sprays on. I think you'll be good to go. And as this fragrance dries down, I think it's magnificent, especially if you live somewhere where the weather dips below 50 degrees. I think this is going to be a home run for you. So go out, check it out. Carnal Desire by French Avenue Aromatix. Go get it. You can't lose with it. Cannot lose with it. All right. So the next fragrance is another popular fragrance by French Avenue Aromatix that gets a lot of hype. Gets a whole lot of hype. And a lot of people actually compared it to, right? Because when French Avenue and Aromatix first did this collaboration, I want to say that these are the first two that came out, the Raw Taboo, okay, and Carnal Desire. It opens up much of the same as Carnal Desire. right? Nice presentation. Okay. Opens up like so. Opens up like so. All right. Now, with this particular bottle, you can tell, right, that the color scheme has a lot to do with the juice that's inside the bottle. Carnal Desire is in a red bottle, so that lets you know that it's going to be spicy, um, with an animalic tone to it. Um, and you could tell that it's going to be heavy on like leather and stuff like that. And if it's not going to be held on leather, then it's definitely going to be heavy on the spices, right? Which it is. This fragrance, to me, is a more subtle scent. Um, I can tell you that when I put this fragrance on, like at first spray, when I first got it, I opened it up, I sprayed both of them on a testing strip. This one stood out to me the most. And the reason why it stood out to me the most is because I'm a fan of the tobacco notes and fragrances. If you give me a fragrance and you tell me it's got tobacco in it, then I'm gonna give it a try right off the bat. Like you don't even have to ask me if I want to smell it. Yes, I want to smell it because I love the note of tobacco, especially if it's done right. And this particular fragrance, the tobacco note is magnificent. It puts me in the mind of the big league chew, like the baseball players, like when they got the tobacco in the bag. And I remember when I was young, we had a neighbor, and my neighbor used to chew tobacco all the time, and it had like an Indian on the front. I think it was called Big Red Chew or something like that, or Big Chew. And the smell that used to come from that bag, because me and my brothers and then we used to just love the smell of it. It's this puts me in the mind of that, right? So it's a little nostalgic in that sense. And the opening, that's what you get. I love it. I love it, right? And with this particular fragrance, you're gonna get some tobacco, you're gonna get some cinnamon, cardamom, amber, benzoin. Middle notes, you're gonna get tobacco, cashmere woods, heliotrope, jasmine. Base notes, you're gonna get some vanilla, patchouli, tonka bean, and dry woods. Tonka bean and dry woods. So let's talk about the note breakdown for a little bit. See, the tobacco note is pumping off of this testing strip, and it does the exact same thing on your skin. I got probably 10 minutes of that strong tobacco note that I like off of this before it turned into something totally different. And then to me, it becomes more benzoin heavy. And I don't know about a lot of you, but I'm not a huge fan of benzoin. If it's in the fragrance and it's not done heavy, I could deal with it. But if it's a heavy dose of benzoin, then it to me it kind of throws the fragrance off. A lot of fragrance houses, when they put tobacco in a fragrance, they usually couple it with benzoin for whatever reason. For whatever reason, right? And this, they did the exact same thing in this, right? So right off the top, first spray, heavy dose of tobacco. It's the most prominent note, even though it doesn't list it in the top notes. That's what jumps off the page to me when you first put this fragrance on. Um, Same thing with Carnal Desire. I had an opportunity to wear this fragrance over a couple of days. I got both of them in around the same time, and I wore one for 24 hours, and then I wore the next one for 24 hours. So when I put this fragrance on, I'm like, this is gonna be my favorite one out of the two. But when I put it on, as it dried down, I it was okay, but it didn't wow me. It didn't jump off the page. It didn't really project. I think I probably got 2.5 feet of projection. Performance wise, I got about 8 hours. And then it became a skin scent at like the 9-10 hour mark, which is not bad because, like I said, I paid $30 for this fragrance. And for the price point and the performance that you get out of both of these fragrances, I think is absolutely amazing. So this fragrance definitely becomes more benzoin, dry wood, heavy on the dry down. If this remained the same as when you first put it, when you first spray it, that opening note of that realistic, photorealistic tobacco, I think if they kept that as the base and then added in the vanilla and the tonka bean, this right here would have been an absolute hit. And a lot of people do. They like it. They think this is an absolute hit. And it puts people in the mind of, I've heard Creed Centaurus. right? A lot of people say this reminds them of Creed Centaurus. But you know what? I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in there and tell you that this kind of puts me in the mind of another fragrance that kind of has same scent profile. And I'm talking about Carlisle by Parfums de Marly. Carlisle by Parfums de Marly, the opening or just the smell that emanates from the from the atomize on that when you first do it. Like if I close my eyes and sniff these two fragrances, they're almost similar, right? To me, they're almost similar. And this raw taboo kind of puts me in the mind of Carlisle on the opening, but then it changes after that, right? Both of these fragrances got benzoin in it, and like I said, I'm not a fan of benzoin. Carlisle is good, but I like Harriet a little bit better. But that's another video, another time. Out of these two fragrances, out of these two fragrances, which one of these do I like better? Okay, I thought right off the bat that I was gonna like Raw Taboo because of the tobacco note, the vanilla note, everything that is in this fragrance on paper is everything that I like in a fragrance, with the exception of maybe a few. This, I didn't think I was gonna like it so much because of, like I say, the leather and the oud to me throws this off. But when you think about raspberry, cotton candy, and a fragrance, I mean, you really can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. Cinnamon, right? This bottle screams everything that's in it. This became, out of the two right now, my least favorite. And if I had to pick between the two of which one I would probably buy again, I would probably buy Carnal Desire again once I runs out, just for like special occasions, just to keep it on hand. I'm gonna probably have this one for a while because I can't see myself wearing this or grabbing it all the time. Now, like I said, cold weather, both of these fragrances gonna hit. These are definitely not warm weather fragrances. So if you like Carlisle and you like Creed Centaurus, this is the fragrance for you. If you like a lot of the oud fragrances, Hautane, um, Ombre Nomad, especially Ombre Nomad fans out there, then you're absolutely gonna love this. Okay, this is like Ombre Nomad with a twist, in my personal opinion. So go out and get them, man. $60 to $65 for both of these. You can find them on Joma Shop. That's my honest review. If I had to rate these fragrances, I would probably give this one right here 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10, and then I'll probably give this one a 8 to 8.5 out of 10. So this is the winner. This is the better fragrance in my book. And yeah, we're gonna keep it like that, man. Well, there you have it. That's my honest opinion, not a paid review. I bought these fragrances with my own money, like I have all of my fragrances. Nobody sent me anything. So there's no reason for me to give you a dishonest take on a fragrance. So beware of some of these influencers out there, or some of these individuals out there that's talking about these fragrances that are getting paid, man. You kind of got to ask yourself, if I'm being paid to review your fragrance, can I really give you my honest take? I would say some people probably, yeah. But a lot of people, they're going to want to keep that check rolling in, so they're not going to give you the honest take. Even if somebody paid me to do a review, part of the stipulation is going to have to be, I'm going to have to give you my honest personal take on it. Okay. And Need, aka Aromatix, you did a great job with these fragrances. A great job with these fragrances, man. So keep up the good work. Like I said, right now this was my favorite. This is my favorite, and this one right here is a good fragrance as well. Okay, 8.5 out of 10, 7.5 to 8 out of 10. That's it. That's all my time, man. It's your boy AP the Fragrance King, and I'm out.